too extreme. That's too extreme. Anyway, welcome to the inside of my house where it does not feel nearly as hot as it does outside in the Carolinas. I know y'all like, why you bring that up, Nick? Well, I've been grinding and cutting and welding and stripping and soldering and drilling and self-tapping, all kind of shit. That's basically what I'm telling you. And right here, I'm going to put the picture in picture, and I'm going to show you exactly what I've been doing. The first thing I did is forget to load a video where I made a crank sensor bracket. Now, will it work? Who knows? It meets the requirements. It points dead at it. It's shimmed up. You know, it's on the 8th tooth. That's what my ECU, I have a Holly. So anyway, everything's lined up. Let's pray that work. If not, I'm going to have to kick out $100 and some to get an aluminum bracket. I made this out of steel. Steel is what I got. So I made a crank sensor bracket, and I'm amped about it. I might be one of the few people in North America that have a small block Ford with a crank sensor in the front. The reason I put the crank sensor in the front is because my computer is for LS. It's a LS's wiring harness. I want coil packs. So yeah, that's why that's the way it is. Oh goodness, what is that? Damn ant! Damn ants, man! You come down here if you want them. If you scared of bugs, you better stay where you at. We got ants. Every bug that you got, we got one down here that can fly. You got cockroaches up there? Where you at? Yeah, we got cockroaches down here, but they can fly. You got ants where you at? Oh, okay, cool. We got ants down here that can fly. I'm surprised we ain't got a flying spider. I'll digress. On to the next thing. I also gutted my car. Now, I wanted my car gutted real bad, guys. I really, really wanted a gutted car. But I knew it was going to take a lot of work. So I wasn't amped, but I need to get a new welding helmet. I need to get some metal for the motor mount itself. I got the metal for the trans mount. So I didn't want to hold steel. Sometimes you can't finish your project because like Amazon or eBay failed you, and it's not really going to be today. It's going to be like 2 days. So I'll move on to the next part of my car. The front half of your car is part of the motor swap. Oh, gas. It's part of the motor swap too. People leave out that I'm going to just throw the motor. No. So other than welding motor mounts and trans mounts, in a lot of cars, if you're going turbo, you might have to do a whole lot of front end fabrication. I did that. It's done. Go check it out if you want to. That's done. I extended a lot of the wires on the harness to make sure they fit. Lots of soldering. I got that done. So the harness, that's done. Then on to the interior. What are you really going to do? You got to put the ECU somewhere. You know what I mean? You got to put it somewhere. I wanted a gutted car. I wanted the lightness. I wanted to get it for the weight I'm putting in. I wanted to get weight out. So I gutted my car. I didn't want to because it was hard, but I pushed through it. I sweated out all my shirts. We did it. Car is pretty much gutted. The only part of the car that I didn't gut all the way is the bottom of the floor in the back. That is all made of wood, and I'm going to use like a corrugated plastic that you see people make signs out of. Like you see political signs on this corrugated plastic. It weighs nothing. Well, I'm going to replace the wood with that plastic. So that's why I didn't even bother messing with the wood. And the wood in the back of a Volvo Wagon is thick and strong. People put engine blocks on top of it. Volvo knew how y'all was going to do. So they made that wood strong as hell. But I left that. But the back seats, the top of the back seat, right here, this part that holds your touches your spine, that part weighs more than both your front seats in your Volvo. Didn't know that. Got the back seats out, the front seats out, vacuumed, peeled all the carpet out. Got all everything that would come out I took out, and all the wiring harness, and the heating AC box. I'm going to put heat in it one day. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to get heat back in it. It's not going to be that difficult. It's not going to be as directional as stock heat, but when you crank your car up and you turn that fan on once it's warm, it's going to heat that cab up. So I'm not worried about that. So I digress again. So anyway, I cut the dash in half. I got a half dash, like the racing style. I took every single wire out except for the ones I needed. Headlights. Well, I took them out too. Turn signals, running lights on the brake, and the blinker lights and the brake light up. So all that was removed, and even the little trigger switch for the brake was removed. So all this is ran in my car now, and it goes to the main power in the cab is on a breaker, and that breaker powers everything except the ECU. And the 12-volt trigger, which is not a lot of power for the Harley, that's supposed to be on the key. I have like a power key, so like an on-off switch key, like a race car. So I got one of those. It is on the cab's power, but the power wire from the ECU is going straight to the battery, and the ground wire for the ECU, the thick wires that come with it, it's bolted to the frame in the exact spot that the ground wire to the battery is bolted. So they're essentially together and bolted in the same spot. That was like a big deal with Harley. So, which tooth you use on the crank wheel, its gap, certain things inside that manual, they were like, you need to take care of this now. And obviously I'm gonna get the car tuned, so I'm trying to button up stuff. So now that the car probably is gonna weigh the same with the motor, the new motor and turbo as it did with the old motor and turbo, the old automatic transmission weighs more than the new manual transmission. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the shifter. I was going to do remote shift. We'll get to that when we get to it. But right now I'm just chilling and relaxing and happy for the fact that I did the front half of the car. The motor will fit. I got the transmission, and then I gutted the inside of the car, race car style. So really the only thing left for me to do is to actually physically make the motor mounts and the trans mount so that I can measure and order a drive shaft and get the cranking it. Other than that, we good to go. It's like this is that time we getting down to the wire. We're on the downhill side, and I know what you're thinking. 80-20 rule, Nick, the 80-20. You're right. I feel like the 80-20 rule been in effect because rewiring the car took a while. The crank sensor bracket took me a while. It took 2 tries. It took me 2 tries to get it to line up how I wanted to. Lots of grinding on it. So, yeah, how long is this video? Yeah. So you guys get the point. You get the point, right? All right. I've pretty much completed everything. So hopefully here shortly, the things that what do I need? The things that I need to do the cranking. I need a tablet because the tablet is basically my gauges. So I need a tablet, and I'm going to just put some interior lights. So they're going to be RBGs, but they do white. So they're also going to be work lights. So they'll be placed to look cool. And when I turn them on white, they'll be placed in a way that I can fix my wiring if I have to, or problem shoot if I have to. So I need a tablet. I need to extend one more wire, fuel pressure sensor wire. I need to extend it a little longer. And I need to mount it up. So I'm on my hunt for some steel. I have some metal, but it's not as thick. It's not the thick wall that I want to use, because a lot of people would just use, I guess, 2x2 square tubing metal, and I'm using 1.5 by 1.5 square metal, and I need it to be thick wall because the motor, it's a motor mount. It needs to be thick wall, and it's going to be a pedestal mount, and then I'm going to make a bracket to go to the frame rail on each side, so it'll have like a L shape, so it can't have any side-to-side movement when like I'm hitting hard G's or anything. Like the pedestal is going to be solid. And I honestly, materials are expensive right now, and once I got through with the front end, my welding helmet mask broke halfway through, and I had to use glasses and cover my face. And the only reason I kept pushing through is because I was doing little zips here and little zips there. There wasn't real long welding, and the intensity of flux core is not nearly like a stick. I'm going to stick weld the mounts because of, the power of it. It's so powerful that I know it will cut into the metal and make a good bond, and there's no worrying about it at all. So I will stick weld the mounts themselves and the transmission mount too. So yeah, the next thing I'm looking for is just a tablet, a trucker mount to hold a tablet, because it's going to be right in front of my face, and some metal. Then I could move it around, but I'm not. I'm going to measure for the drive shaft and take everything back out one last time. I need a starter. I also need a starter. So add that to the list. Starter, tablet, metal, cranking it. Let's go. Like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you. I don't know what 18 to 15 to sometimes 20 of you'd be watching my video, but y'all want to come to the cookout, huh? I'm out.